The sun rose, casting soft light on the monastery's stone pathways. As disciples stirred in the tranquil morning air, sitting beneath the ancient Bodhi tree, the Buddha closed his eyes in deep meditation, the calm of his presence profound. Among the disciples, I approached, my heart weighed down with the heavy burden of unspoken sorrow. Bowing deeply, I spoke, my voice trembling, "Master, my heart feels broken, shattered by the loss of someone I held so dear." The Buddha opened his eyes, his gaze serene, like the still surface of a crystal-clear lake reflecting the truth. "Tell me," he said, his voice gentle, "what is the source of your anguish? Is it the loss, or the yearning for what was?" I hesitated, searching for words as the ache in my chest tightened, my thoughts a tangled web. "Both, Master," I finally murmured. "My mind cannot release the memories, nor my heart the attachment." The Buddha gestured to a stone nearby, inviting me to sit. "Come closer," he said, his tone imbued with infinite patience. I settled myself, the sounds of the natural world around us grounding me in the present moment. "Imagine," he began, "you carry a clay pot filled with water, heavy in your hands, the weight pressing upon you." He paused, allowing the image to take form in my mind. I nodded, feeling as though the weight of my sorrow mirrored this imagined burden. "When you pour the water from the pot," the Buddha continued, "does the pot shatter? Does it cease to exist?" His words resonated deeply, sparking a flicker of understanding within me, though the answers eluded my grasp. "No, Master," I replied hesitantly. "The pot remains, ready to be filled again when the time comes." The Buddha smiled softly, as if pleased with my nascent comprehension. "Indeed," he said, "letting go does not destroy, it creates space. It is not an end, but a beginning." My heart yearned to embrace his teachings, but the grip of grief held tight, refusing to yield so easily. "Master," I whispered, "how can I let go when my soul clings to the pain, as though it defines me?" The Buddha extended his hand, palm open, and a small leaf fell into it, carried by the morning breeze. He held the leaf delicately, turning it as he spoke. "This leaf falls from the tree, yet the tree remains whole, unharmed by its loss." His words, simple yet profound, seemed to reverberate within the depths of my consciousness. "Your loss, like this leaf, does not diminish you," the Buddha said. "It is a part of life's natural flow." I watched as the leaf was carried away by the wind, its journey continuing in harmony with the forces of nature. "But Master," I asked, my voice trembling, "does the tree not feel emptiness where the leaf once thrived?" The Buddha placed the leaf upon the ground gently, his touch reverent. "The tree does not dwell on what it loses," he replied. "It simply grows anew, embracing the cycles of change." The morning sun climbed higher, illuminating the world in radiant golden hues. Yet my heart felt shrouded in shadow. The banyan leaves rustled as the Buddha's voice carried a soothing cadence. "Resilience is a skill cultivated with awareness." He reached down, scooping a handful of soil into his palm, its texture rich and alive. "This soil," he said, "is the source of life for the seed, though it appears dark and unyielding." He let the soil slip through his fingers, returning it to the earth. "From sorrow springs growth, and from loss, new beginnings emerge," he said, "but only if we choose to plant anew." His words filled me with a fragile hope, like the first rays of dawn breaking through the depths of night's darkness. "Master," I asked, "how do I begin to plant these seeds? My hands feel too heavy with despair to sow anything new." The Buddha's expression softened further, as he clasped his hands in a gesture of both solace and encouragement. "Begin with a single breath," he said, "for even the longest journey starts with the smallest step forward." I closed my eyes as he instructed, drawing a deep breath, feeling the air fill my lungs and release. With each breath, The weight within seemed to loosen slightly, as though grief's grip was beginning to relent. However faintly, the sounds of nature enveloped us. The rustling of leaves, the songs of birds, and the gentle murmur of the wind. These sounds, I realized, carried an echo of the infinite, the interconnectedness of all things resonating in their harmony. Master, I said after a long silence, I see now that clinging to my sorrow separates me from this flow of life. The Buddha inclined his head, his expression one of quiet affirmation. To release sorrow, he said, is to align with life's flow, to become whole again. My tears, long held back, began to fall, each one carrying a fragment of the pain that had bound me. The Buddha extended a handkerchief, his gesture one of simple kindness, a reminder of compassion's healing power. The sun's rays warmed the earth, casting away the lingering chill of dawn as the day unfolded in its brilliance. I looked at the Buddha, feeling a spark of understanding kindle within me, though the path ahead remained long. Master, I said, bowing deeply, thank you for your teachings. I will strive to walk this path, step by step. The Buddha's smile was gentle, his presence a balm for the wounds of the spirit. Remember, he said, healing is not the absence of pain but the acceptance of life's impermanence and its endless transformations. As I rose to leave, the wind carried the scent of blooming flowers, a reminder that even amidst sorrow, life continues to create beauty. Walking back to the monastery, I felt the weight within me begin to shift, as though a door had opened. In the stillness of that moment, I understood that while the pain remained, it no longer defined me. The Buddha's words echoed in my mind, a guide through the labyrinth of my grief, showing me the way toward light. Another day, another moment to seek wisdom. The monastery grounds bathed in soft hues of the early morning sun. I wandered aimlessly, my heart still entangled in the sorrow that clung like a shadow. As my steps carried me to a serene garden, I found the Buddha sitting under the vast canopy of a willow tree. He looked up as I approached, his presence as calming as the gentle sway of the branches above. Sit with me, the Buddha said, gesturing to a place beside him, and let us observe the movement of this tree. But Master, how do we endure this loss? The Buddha's gaze shifted to the exposed roots, their tenacity a testament to resilience. Endurance is born from our roots, he explained. The Buddha regarded me with a gentle smile, his eyes reflecting an understanding deeper than words could convey. Do you see how the willow moves with the wind, bending but never breaking? He asked, his voice carrying the clarity of a tranquil stream. I nodded slowly, watching the branches sway, their movement a silent testament to resilience. Yes, Master, I replied, but is its bending not a sign of weakness, a surrender to forces beyond its control? The Buddha picked up a fallen twig, its surface brittle and dry, and placed it gently in my hands. This twig once resisted the wind, he said, and in its stubbornness, it broke. Strength lies in flexibility, not defiance. His words settled in my mind, sparking a flicker of comprehension amid the fog of my grief. Master, I asked, turning the twig over in my hands, how can bending bring strength? Does it not compromise the integrity of the self? The Buddha gestured to the willow's trunk, its base anchored firmly to the earth, its roots deep and steadfast. The willow bends, he said, because its roots hold strong. Its surrender to the wind is not weakness but wisdom. I contemplated his words, the interplay of surrender and strength weaving a tapestry of meaning in my thoughts. But Master, I said, my voice trembling, my grief feels like a storm. Its winds unyielding, threatening to uproot my spirit. The Buddha placed a hand on the earth beneath us, his touch reverent, as if communing with the very soul of nature. The roots of the willow anchor it in the soil, he said. just as mindfulness anchors the spirit amid life's tempests. The soft rustling of the leaves accompanied his words, a symphony of nature's quiet wisdom echoing in the background. "Master," I murmured, "if mindfulness is the root, how do I cultivate it when my thoughts scatter like leaves in the wind?" The Buddha's gaze softened further, his expression a wellspring of patience. As he placed his palms together in a gesture of prayer, "Begin by returning to the breath," he said, "the rhythm of life that flows unbroken, grounding you in the present moment." I closed my eyes, the sounds of the willow and the wind intertwining with the steady cadence of my breathing. With each breath, a semblance of stillness crept into my restless mind, as if the storm within was beginning to abate. "Master," I said after a time, opening my eyes, "this stillness feels fragile, like the calm before another storm. How can I trust it?" The Buddha reached for a stone nearby, its surface smooth and cool, and held it in his hand. "This stone," he said, "rests quietly, enduring the flow of time, yet within it lies the strength of the ages." He placed the stone in my hand, its weight grounding, its presence a reminder of resilience that transcends fragility. "Stillness," the Buddha continued, "is not the absence of chaos but the foundation upon which strength is built, unshaken by passing storms." I turned the stone over in my hand. The simplicity of its form belied the depth of its symbolism. "Master," I asked, "how do I find this stillness when my heart resists, tethered to the pain of the past?" The Buddha gestured to the willow above, its branches weaving intricate patterns against the expanse of the sky. "The willow finds stillness in its roots, while its branches dance freely with the wind," he said. "So must you anchor yourself in mindfulness and allow your heart to move with life's flow." The morning sun rose higher, casting a warm glow that seemed to illuminate the truths embedded in his words. "Master," I said, my voice steadying, "I see now that resisting the wind only brings suffering. But how do I trust the flow?" The Buddha smiled, his expression a quiet affirmation of the journey that lay ahead. "Trust is born from acceptance," he said, "a willingness to embrace life's impermanence and the beauty of its unfolding." As the breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers, I felt a shift within me, as though a door was beginning to open. The Buddha reached out, touching the bark of the willow tree, his gesture one of reverence and understanding. "This tree thrives because it accepts the cycles of nature, shedding leaves to make way for new growth," he said. "In embracing change, it finds its strength and beauty." I looked up at the willow, its branches a living testament to the wisdom of yielding and the power of resilience. "Master," I whispered, "I will strive to let go of my resistance and trust in the flow of life's currents." The Buddha's gaze lingered on me, his eyes alight with the quiet encouragement of a teacher who sees the potential for growth. "Remember," he said, "the journey of healing is not one of perfection but of persistence." Each step a testament to courage. As I rose to leave, the rustling of the willow's leaves seemed to echo the truths I had begun to embrace. The morning had given way to the fullness of day, the sunlight casting intricate patterns on the ground. The path back to the monastery stretched before me, a journey I would now walk with renewed purpose and hope. The Buddha's words remained with me, a guide to navigating the storms of the heart with grace and resilience. Another day, another morning steeped in quiet reflection, the monastery awakening to the gentle light of the rising sun. I wandered to the lotus pond, drawn by the serenity of its still waters and the beauty of its blooms sitting by the edge. I gazed at the radiant blossoms rising from the mud, their purity seemingly untouched. The Buddha approached, his footsteps soft, his presence filling the air with calm and understanding. He knelt beside me, his gaze falling upon the flowers, their delicate petals swaying slightly in the breeze. "Do you see?" he began, his voice steady and compassionate. How these lotuses grow in the mud yet emerge so pure. I nodded, the sight of the flowers stirring a faint sense of hope within my weary heart. Yes, Master, I replied, but how can beauty arise from something as dark and unclean as the mud beneath? The Buddha reached out, gently touching one of the blossoms. His hand steady and reverent. The mud, he said, is not a hindrance but the source of life for these flowers. It nurtures their growth. His words resonated deeply, the simplicity of their truth challenging my perceptions of darkness and despair. Master, I asked, my voice tinged with doubt, can my sorrow, too, be a source of growth? It feels only like an endless burden. The Buddha turned his gaze to me, his eyes reflecting the profound wisdom of the interconnectedness of all things. Sorrow, he said, is like the mud, rich with nutrients for transformation if you choose to cultivate the conditions for growth. His words filled the air, carrying with them the possibility of renewal, though my heart hesitated to embrace it fully. But Master, I murmured, the pain feels insurmountable, as though it consumes all that I am. How do I begin to transform it? The Buddha reached down, cupping a handful of mud from the edge of the pond, its texture moist and earthy. This mud, he said, may seem unclean, but within it lies the potential for beauty and life, waiting to be realized. He let the mud slip through his fingers, returning it to the earth, its presence unchanged yet vital. The first step, he continued, is acceptance, acknowledging the mud not as something to despise but as a part of the journey. Action transforms fear into purpose. Through effort, hope is nurtured and sustained. I pondered his words, realizing that fear fades when we engage with life's challenges with mindful, compassionate determination. Master, I ventured, how do we inspire others to find hope when despair seems inevitable in their circumstances? The Buddha smiled gently, his presence radiating compassion. Master, I said after a long silence, even if I accept the pain, how do I begin to find beauty amidst the darkness? The Buddha gestured to the lotus flowers before us, their radiant blooms standing in stark contrast to the mud below. The lotus does not fight the mud, he said, but rises from it, drawing nourishment and strength from what others would discard. I studied the blossoms, their purity and resilience stirring a glimmer of hope that had long been dormant within me. Master, I whispered, I will strive to find strength in what I carry, though the path seems daunting and unclear. The Buddha placed a hand on my shoulder, his touch grounding and reassuring, a reminder of the power of compassion. Remember, he said, the journey is not about perfection but persistence. Each step a testament to your courage and growth. The morning sunlight danced upon the water, illuminating the lotus blooms and casting shadows of their beauty upon the earth. I rose from my seat, my spirit lighter, as though a weight had begun to shift, making space for something new. The Buddha's words echoed within me, a guide to transforming sorrow into wisdom, pain into purpose, darkness into light. As I walked away from the pond, the scent of blooming flowers lingered in the air, a reminder of the promise of renewal. In the quiet of that moment, I understood that the mud of life, though dark, was the foundation for growth, a path to healing. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.